we as guys didn't hang around men that we didn't think were of a certain caliber. Hey everyone, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and also share the video. Well, hello everybody. It is the Christian Jamaican Coolie back again after a long summer break. Basically, well, when it's the summertime, you have to teach summer camp. So I had a lot of responsibilities, and I also had a promotion at work. So thanks be to the Most High God for that. The topic I want to get into right now, you already see the title of the video. It's nice guys finish last. That statement isn't true. And I'm going to say why I say that. Alright? And let's start with this. There's a very huge misconception about nice guys. There's a misconception about who they are. There's a misconception about what they do, and there's a misconception about what they have, and then the last misconception about them is the type of race that the nice guys are running in order to be finishing last. Now, the reason why the statement last guys finish last comes about is that basically they're talking about within relationships in which guys they are seeking female companionship, and basically females reject them, and then eventually these women, when they're all busted and broken down after they've used up their youth and their bodies and stuff like that, they eventually want the guys that they rejected to come and take care of them. Okay, understandable. All right, but that's not what nice guys are. And I think we need to really break this down so people really and truly understand who a nice guy is, who a bad guy is, who the Tyrones and the Chads and the Steves and the whoever is, so that we can really look at these things and stop saying certain things that sound so finalistic. All right, so let's go to the description of what a nice guy is, or what a nice guy is perceived as, and why a lot of men believe that as a nice guy you will not be chosen unless you are a asshole to women. Personally, from dating, I'm gonna go from this from my experience in dating. um there's the reason why I said that there's a misconception with who we think nice guys are is because how we view the word nice and good, etc. So we tend to view nice guys as some kind of like hopeless romantic who is heavily in love with the woman, and he can't help himself, and he has all these good things. He has an education, he has this, he has that, and blah 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 blah. But the thing about that is that you have men that they don't have an education, they don't have a job, they don't have this, they don't have that, and they are hopeless romantics. They are desperately in love with women. um I think we should change it. I think we should change the words. We should change the whole meaning and say, well, simps finish last. Simps finish last. And I'm going to say why I say simps finish last, because we have to see and talk about who a simp is. Number one, a simp is basically a guy who pedestalizes a female over himself. He sees her as a deity rather than what she actually is, which is a human being with flaws and the capability of making horrible decisions, and with the capability of doing very harmful things to him as well. A simp is a person that they actually, they get rid of logic and allow their own feelings and desperations of wanting a companion in females to override their logic and reasoning, and causes them to come off in a way that is called nice or too nice. All right, so I hope everybody's understanding what I am talking about. See, because if you really look at it, if you really look at what I'm saying, everything that you think a woman is not really attracted to, she's not attracted to a simp. And you know, she's it's not really even about a image of a bad boy. It's just an image of somebody who is not going to be a pushover. And that's from my, and this is from my experience in dating women. And I can't say I've dated a lot. I've gone out with a lot of women though. I've gone out with a lot of them. And the reason why I haven't dated a lot, because I didn't really want to get into a lot of relationships, because I found a lot of women unworthy of a relationship. You know, after a first date, or first time meeting them at a park, having a conversation with them, taking a long walk with them at a park, and I realized that this woman is not really worth her salt. Yes, she was beautiful, yes, she was this, yes, she was that, but everything else about her was quite nasty, and it was just not something or someone that I wanted to get myself involved in. All right, so and so the difference between a simp and myself, who would logically look at a girl like that, is that a simp would not care that she, obviously comes with some red flags or a lot of red flags. She comes with the fact that she doesn't care about him as a person, that she only cares about herself and her needs, and that his entirety must be devoted to fulfilling her pleasures and her needs and her wants and her desires, while the only thing that he gets is the thought of maybe that there may be some sex involved, that she may bless him with the sex. So I hope that you guys are understanding what I mean by why we should say why we shouldn't say anymore nice guys finish last, and why we should say simps finish last. Because you can be a nice guy in life, but not be somebody to be stepped on like a rug. And I learned this very, very early. I learned this very, very early. I learned this from like when I was 14, as you've seen in some of my videos, because of what I went through with my mother, my sisters, and even an ex. I basically said, no, I'm not going to sit down and allow women to devalue me and treat me a certain way and make me feel like I am not somebody. I'm not desperate enough for anybody, or desperate for love for anybody, to treat me like I don't matter as a person, whether I make a certain amount of money or not. They don't get that right. And the fact of the matter is that when people do it, I basically call them out on it. You understand? You should be able to call that person out on it. But that's not the topic. What we're talking about is, the topic of the nice guy finish last statement. Now, as I just said a while ago, you can be nice without being a pushover. You can be nice without being desperate for a woman's attention. You can be nice without constantly thirsting after women and stuff like that. Listen, guys, it is okay and perfectly natural for us to think a woman is beautiful. It is okay and perfectly fine for you to even compliment a woman like once in a while, just once. Just look at a girl and say, "Hey, you look nice." You don't have to overdo it. I see a lot of people overdo it. Like they see a girl on the street, it's like, "Hey, beautiful, what's up?" Oh man, that, like, damn. Like, I think that's a little bit too extra. Like, that is what is really kind of pedestalizing a woman. You understand? In any way, you go to a gym and stuff like that, and you pedestalize a woman and stuff like, damn, look at that, oh, and you're like, you're feeding your eyes and you're feeding your flesh a lot, but you're not really like seeing her as a person. And yes, it's wrong for a woman to basically dress sexually and think that she should get the treatment of a princess. If you dress a certain way, that's how you should be treated. Like, if you dress like you're from the red light district, don't expect to be treated like a princess, because that's not how you're coming off. You're not coming off as a princess, you are coming off as a street worker. You understand? And I would suggest that anybody, if you see a woman dressed like that, don't treat her in a manner that is opposite to that. Treat her in the manner of the way she dresses. If she wants to be treated like a princess or like a decent person, well, dress like a decent person. Talk and act like a decent person. Don't dress as if you're seeking all this male attention, and then when you get it, you're complaining about it. You understand? So not to stray away from the point, because that was kind of a little bit off topic. I want to be on topic about this. Uh, Simps finished last because, as I've said before in another video, where we had this guy. His name was Jamin, and we were at a church camp. And what Jamin did, because he was an attractive person and no girls would really talk to him, he would basically just like constantly like find himself in their presence, while we guys were like amongst ourselves, by ourselves, just hanging out, and then the girls would just like come and hang out with us. Or if we kind of went to our respective girls that we were talking to and stuff like that, and kind of like coupled off and stuff like that, he didn't really had that. And we did have at one point in time the camaraderie with him, where we basically used to talk to him and stuff like that, and just hang with him and chill with him and vibe with him. But then he went into a point of where he would betray us by constantly letting the girls know things that we as men were discussing in our dorms. Like, not even like say it's private stuff, but it's just like general conversations that we would be having in our dorms that we don't even share with them. So and then turn around, the girls still didn't give him any play. So they only used him as this thing where they wanted the information from him. But the minute he gave them what they wanted, they didn't talk to him outside of that. Yet, even though they would, especially me, they would call me like a lot of names, like I don't remember the name they used to call me, but they used to say, "Ho, what was the word? Womanizer." Yeah, I was what? Yeah. So they called me womanizer a lot. And even though they called me womanizer a lot, they would still, come and hang out with me, come and talk to me, come and vibe with me. And even though I had my girlfriend at the church camp, there were girls there who were basically, you could tell that they wanted to give you play. You understand? They wanted to see how far it would go with them. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, being a simp, pedestalizing women, just, it's kind of like you're just desperate for their attention. You're desperate for their validation. when you're desperate for the female validation. He was desperate for the female validation, for them to validate him as a person, rather than originally thinking that he was a person and that they are a person and that he was just another person talking to another person. And that's how I basically lived my life, that hey, I'm a human of value, you're a human of value, I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. If I don't have what you want, all right, cool, I'm out. If you don't have what I want, all right, cool, I'm out. You understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? That's why I said that you can be nice without being a pushover. You understand? That's the hugest misconception that we have. Even dating coaches talking about how nice guys finish last, etc. Blah 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 blah, and it's because women are this and women are that. And no 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 no. Change that talking. Simps finish last. Desperados finish last. And they finish last because of their pedestalization of the opposite sex. When you pedestalize anyone, they're going to, it is like 100% they're going to treat you like trash. Or even if they don't treat you like trash, you don't get from them what you're seeking to get. This is why I've never pedestalized the women that I've been with. I used to have a ex-girlfriend. She was constantly on Facebook, like constantly showing pictures when we're dating, and I said to her, yo, listen, you need to calm down with that type of stuff, man. Like, yo, you have a boyfriend, so why is it that you need to go out there and get other male validation and stuff like that? Oh, sometimes she doesn't feel good within herself. So okay, I said to her, okay, so if you don't feel good within yourself, you come to me. You come to me and get my validation. You don't need to go out there and wear lewd dresses and stuff like that and odd pics and stuff. And listen, for the duration that we were together, she stopped doing it. She stopped going on Facebook. She stopped posting her pics on Facebook for people to constantly, and then she would constantly like put her pics with me and her, and then I realized that was another thing, but eventually the relationship came to an end, and I'm glad it did. You see, a so-called nice guy or simp would have allowed her to continue to walk all over him like that, because when a woman does that, she's not showing you that she values you. When she has to go out there and get other male validation, she's basically showing you that your validation of her is not enough. She's showing you that the validation that you're giving her is not of any value, or it's not of a value that she would even consider is enough. And when you sit there as a man and allow her to do that, what it does is devalue you, because she's now seeing you that you are basically accepting the fact that she is treating you badly. And she knows, by the way, 9 times out of 10, a woman knows she's treating you badly. Alright? I don't care if they call it the shit test and stuff like that. I think what it is people behaving badly in a relationship and just seeing what they can get away with. And I don't play those type of games. You understand? When I say a woman, she, like any woman of whichever age that does that to you, you either need to set her straight or you need to leave that relationship, which I have done on several occasions. Whenever I see a woman just even, it doesn't care if it's like one time, and my friends used to talk to me about this, they call me 300 and whatever it is, I don't care. Right? I just don't put up with foolishness because of the type of life that I went through with women. You understand? I look at it and I don't find it necessary for anybody to do that. Like I always ask, why is it that you need to do that? What possible cause, just or reason do you have to treat, like there was that point in time when I had sat an ex down. We were going through a rocky part of our relationship, and I sat her down and I said, I started out with, I said to her, say, yo, you've been doing this, and I listed the things that she was doing to me and how she was hurting my feelings and stuff like that. And then I said to her, you have to explain to me the reason, just or cause for why you have for why you are justified in treating me that way. You understand? Because I don't see a just or cause for you treating me that way. And she was speechless at first, but basically she tried to make it my fault for why she treats me like that. And I said, no. When you do this, I didn't do that to you. I take responsibility for what I do. You need to learn to take responsibility for what you do in this relationship. You understand? The saying that women only like Chads, Tyrones, and Pookies and Ray Rays, that's also false. That's also false. Saying that women only like bad guys, that's extremely false. That's extremely false. And I'm not saying this for the defense of women. I'm not. I'm saying this from my experience in dating. We as guys didn't hang around men that we didn't think were of a certain caliber. And when I say certain caliber, I mean a certain behavior. During high school, it was like me, Dennis, Steve, Richard, Paul, etc. Close friends. And as I said before in a video, we would get into fights after school because you would have like other people that we got into, some kind of altercation with during school hours. And then everybody was waiting for the school bell to ring to settle their differences. And in Jamaica, people don't fight alone. Most people always have their friends to fight with them. So me, Dennis, Steve, Richard, Kelly, Donahue, all of us would basically always hang out together after school, walk each other home and stuff like that. And basically what happened is that now, we used to have people that wanted to hang out with us because we were also a video game group that on Fridays we went to Dennis's house after school and we would play video games until like late, like 1 o'clock in the morning late, and that used to piss my mother off. And these guys basically were like cowards, and they would basically like even me being the shortest in the group, right? I took my licks and I gave licks. Like I took my beating and I gave beatings. Like you couldn't win every fight. Everybody knew that. Everybody knew that growing up. So you had certain people that used to want to come hang out with us, and they would basically just like whenever fights started, even though you saw this person leave their class and stuff like that, and they saw the fights happening, they basically didn't come to your assistance. And then after the fight was done, this person is like, oh, yo, everything good, everything alright, let's go play video games. And we'll be like, no, dude, no. Like, you can't come and want to come enjoy the spoils of the battle and you weren't even in the middle of that battle. You can't come and do that, dude. Like, yo, like there was this guy, like, literally, like, Dennis look on the dude and say, yo, Bridgin, like, say some Jamaican bad word to the dude, and Dennis is seriously, really and truly not like that. And, we understood why. It's like, we went to church too, like, because we used to, like, hang out at the church too. Some Fridays, some Saturdays we hang out at church. We went to hang out at church one Saturday, and we just like sitting in our male group, just sitting chilling, eating a patty, Jamaican beef patty, and just chilling and vibing. And at that time Sonic Adventure 2 battle for GameCube was like out, and well, we're talking about the game and the music and the soundtrack and singing live and learn, live and learn, yeah, 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 live and learn. So you know um what happened is that basically, like I said before, there's this, I've seen them my entire life. That's why I say, Simps finish last, not nice guys. So this dude, like, every guy in the group had a girl in church that they liked, that we had not, that we weren't like ready to like kind of approach, or we were like trying to like find a way to game ourselves and go over and basically like start talking to them and stuff. Or some of us were already talking to our girls and stuff like that, because I already was in relationships by then, and some of them knew my girlfriends and they teased me about the girlfriends and stuff like that. And basically, yeah, this dude from school, like, he would come with us to church and just become like, would see the girls and see how pretty they were and get lost in it, until he just started to sell us out to the girls, like, oh, this guy like you, and that guy like you, and that guy like you, and oh, yo, here, come here, that guy like you, and stuff like that. And would basically like walk over to the girls and point at us and laugh and stuff like that, and blah 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 blah. And you know one day we're just like, all right, we're gonna beat him, we're just gonna beat him. So we waited until like school was over on Friday as usual, and this dude was just like, oh, we're gonna play some video games at Dennis' house. And we're like, yeah, 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 we're gonna play some video games by Dennis' house, man. But come here, we want to talk to you in this classroom, still, cause you know some stuff we have to discuss and thing and thing. I want to really want the body to know what we're discussing. So we basically take the dude over to the classroom and thing, and Steve locked the gate behind us and thing, cause Steve was like the class rep, dealing like, he was like, at that week he was tasked with locking up all the classes on that block. So him lock the grill behind us and padlock it. So the dude was like, yo, what is this, a secret meeting and thing and thing? I was like, yeah, man, yeah, man. That's also when I really want nobody coming and thing. We don't want nobody coming in on us. So I say, yo, Bridget, oh, you must diss us like that. So it's like, what you talking about? I was like, dude, you basically sell us out to the girl at church. You basically, every minute you run up and down under the girl them frock tail, under the girl them skirt, behind the girl them body. Every freaking minute I talk about us, and I point and I laugh, and I tell the girls them how much we like them and all them things there, and who like who and whatever it is, So it was like, I'm never really, I just look a joke thing and fun thing, it's just a little joke and a little fun. I was like, dude, point at my friends and be like, listen, I don't have a problem with what you do, because there's nothing that you can do to really mess up my situation or do to a point where I will care about it, because that's just that has been my whole personality, my whole entire life, to not care about certain things. So it's just like, okay, you like me, good. You don't like me, okay, that's fine too. So it's just like, if a girl that I liked didn't like me back, I was ready to accept that. You understand? That's the type of life I was living. I was just like living in a life where I accepted that there are just people out there in life that are just not going to like you, are just not going to be for you, because I already in my life figured out that I don't like certain people. And I said to myself, well, if I don't like certain people, then that means that certain people not going to like me either. So anyway, we basically beat the stuffing out of this youth. Beat the stuffing out of him and stuff. And then when he was done, um, we kind of just left him in the classroom and stuff like that, crying and stuff. Do we feel bad about it? No, we don't. Because that's exactly what they should be getting. That's exactly what simps should be getting. Because to me, simps are more dangerous than some of these women in societies. And the reason why I say that is because a simp will kill you for a girl that he doesn't even know. His causes are misplaced. You understand what I'm saying? A simp's causes are misplaced. And you know, you don't want to, like, basically be dealing with somebody. You don't want to have an ally in somebody like that. That's an unstable character, but it's also a predictable character, so you know what to do when you come across somebody like that, right? So the saying is that Simps actually finished last, not nice guys. um you know, because you don't have to have anything in life to be a nice guy. Don't compare yourself to others. Yes, other people may have more than you, other people may have less than you, and I've said it before. I have been with a lot of wealthy, young, wealthy women, that basically had me blowing out their backs and stuff like that. But all I saw it was that they weren't serious about me, but that they just wanted to have that fantasy. And you know, you don't have to have anything for women to like you. Women like what they like, and we like what we like. And I think the huge problem with society is that society is trying to remove a man from having a standard or a decision about what he likes. And I'm gonna say it again. When I met my wife was super slim, and that's the type of woman I like. I like super slim women. This whole thing about thick and curvy is not something that's down my street. I don't like it. You understand? Because the first thing I always think about when I see a woman is drooping breasts. Like, how long before those breasts start to droop? I mean, look at that female therapist, man. She looked like she's actually tripping over her breasts. Like, have you seriously looked at those things? Like, those are the first things I think about. I think an average sized breast woman is something that I really like. You understand? I'm okay with the itty bitty titty cubity. I am very much okay with that, because I just don't like a breast that look like it's gonna walk you. You know, like, come on, guys, come on. Like, who else is with me on that? Anyway, so that ends my topic about, nice guys finish last. This is Christian Jamaican Coolie. I'll see you again in the next video.